Welcome back, everyone, for part two of Mindful Leadership Beyond Borders with Raj, Vashisht, and Betska, the Guru Coach. Our guest today is Tami Hay, and we are discussing a million vegan grandmothers, and it's more than that. What you've heard, in part one, we talked about how she healed her own Crohn's, and we know she's a poet, a writer, and she's an environmentalist, and does lots of good things to support the beauty of this planet. And we've asked her to read a poem that she wrote about beauty and the planet. So take it away, Tami.
Yeah. Well, I really believe that if we all connect deep enough in with Mother Earth, she'll take us in and support us, and we won't forget our mutual relationship with her. As I say in my first book, Earth Gut, the story of peace, love, and microbes, the earth is us. And so I invite everyone to look. There's a really big catchphrase right now called self-love, love yourself, love yourself, love yourself. And when I was thinking about this, I was thinking about what is self-love. And for me, the earth is where I found the most authentic place of love. And that's what this is about.
Okay.
I have a distant memory of a non-thought form love of self, of freedom, if you will, an inner compass of care. When family emotions were overkill, grief projections in my home, I knew Mother Earth awaited, that she beckoned at my door. And I stepped into her, onto her, upon her, and was taken in. All human made crazy evaporated off my flesh. Sunbeams cleared my eyes, and the pain would subside when I stepped outside, for this was my home of self love. I picked buttercups and clover and rolled over greener grass. I climbed trees and hid like a bird without a word. She held me deep inside her pulse. I played in the river. She washed me. I danced my fingertips through the pollywogs. She transformed them into hopping beings, so I hopped with them. She taught me how to forage wild blueberry and red clover. And then I found a feathered friend to play Red Rover, calling Raven over. They said I had a good imagination. I call it my mother nation, a great exhalation in a world gone mad, but also a world so very beautiful.
Wonderful. Beautifully done. I love it.
So beautiful.
So, what, how do you see taking this poem, or how are you taking this poem and what you've said in it to create endless possibilities, infinite possibilities for this planet and million vegan grandmothers?
Yeah, so like I say in this poem, when we actually connect with the pulse of Mother Earth, meaning that we know we are her and that
Mm.
she's us, then we we there's this healing that happens within us that we can transmit to other people, and we let go of being stuffologists, as I call it, the study of stuff, you know, and we stop annihilating her with all the corruption and greed and disease. And so how we take this knowing that our love exists in the clover and in the bees and in the wild blueberries is we become part of it, and we help our children remember that. It's very concerning that so many of our children aren't doing well right now,
Hmm.
and a lot of them are medicated, and a lot of the suicide rate has gone up. So we
Hmm.
want to take children back to the garden, literally
Hmm.
to gardens, community
Yeah.
gardens, teach them how to grow food, teach them how to forage, take them camping, help them be part of cleaning up a waterway, a head waterway. We want, imagine if that was the child's playground, not some distracting video game. And we return literally to the garden because it was the original instruction.
Hmm.
And the children that have become quite desensitized from their authentic
Self.
veganism because we're all
Mm,
vegan, right?
mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
most of us have a vegan heart. Most of us, that's why people wouldn't eat meat if they had to kill it.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
They
Yeah.
wouldn't drink milk if they had to go steal the baby away.
Mm-hmm.
So it's actually a returning and a remembering.
Mm.
That's what it
Mm-hmm.
is. It's just returning back to who we authentically were meant to be.
When I was visiting with our grandson recently in Ontario, um, I was looking after him one afternoon, so I took him outside, put him on the swing, and then we laid a blanket on the grass and we played on the grass. And instead of him being on the blanket, I wanted him to touch the grass and play with the grass with his toes and so on. Then I lifted him up and I took him around the yard and got him to touch the trees. And
Mhm.
these tiny little hands, were going and lovingly, not hurting them. He was in awe. And he was 8 or 9 months old at the time. So just a little munchkin. But he was already appreciating nature and how beautiful these trees were. And so I'm with you there, Tami. I'm really with you. So if someone was to join, and you said anybody can join vegan grandmothers, or
Yeah, the only
you,
requirements is that you're a vegan.
okay. All
'Cause
right.
we need to hold that essence together for a vegan
Yeah.
world. But
Yeah.
in any community where there's grandmothers, there's children,
Yes,
there's
for sure.
grandfathers, there's
Hmm.
parents, and so we're
Yeah.
all in it together. But we're supporting a grandmother mission where the grandmothers are going to be the matriarchs that are going to go forward because it was that way at one point. And a lot of my friends say in their community, the grandmothers still have the last say.
Oh
So
yeah, for
it's
sure.
very different than the way that we're treating our elders in North America.
Hmm. So why would people want to join Vegan Million Grandmothers? What would they get out of it? And also, what can they give to it? Yeah.
Well, the power of people joining and the power of grandmothers, like by the time you get to that state, and there's a lot of grandmothers that are vegan in the world. But they're quite isolated, some of them. Like a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people are vegan, the only vegan in their communities. So it gives people support, but it also gives them, a lot of the grandmothers have said, just being able to do a letter writing campaign, talk with everyone, be supported. And then other grandmothers say, hey, I can come there and maybe help you with your sanctuary. Or so it's like this interconnection, but it's such a grandmother energy. And I say that in the highest sense because it's like
Thank you.
there's no in-house kind of knittering at each other. It's just like showing up. Like the way
Mm.
vegan grandmothers show up, we're amazing. Like we're amazing, you know? Because we
That's
just
great.
being vegan and being, having some level of wisdom at a certain age, because
Hmm.
veganism is a level of wisdom within itself. And then
Yes.
you're at a
Yes.
certain age, and if you've chosen veganism, especially even later in life, I didn't become a vegan until I was in my mid 40s.
Hmm.
Then you have a lot of background around things. And one of our missions in at Climate Healers is to feed all to feed all. And so we started an organization within that called Food Healers. And Rebecca Allen, our beautiful, one of the beautiful women that are really, really promoting Food Healers, is that we want to see the grandmothers around the world just we have this recipe for this massive pot of unity stew. And then just everywhere we go, we just bring a big pot of stew. That's what my partner and I do. And we just feed people. I'm
Hmm.
hoping that I'm going to start soaking some lentils tonight, and we go to the inner city whenever we're in that area at the farmers market. We just go to the inner city and serve hot cups of soup to
Hmm.
people that are on the street, and it doesn't require a lot of organization. We just
No. Hmm.
so we
Yeah.
we also are really good at feeding people.
Mm.
Not every grandmother, but let's just start making sure that everybody's fed
Yeah.
nutritious
Yeah.
food because even some people that are fed are really nutrition deficient. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, so there's lots of different things. I could go on all day about what the grandmothers can provide, but we're part of under the umbrella of climate healers. So we have convergences every 3 months, and they're
Mhm.
so informative. But it's always like this big hug. It's like, oh, we get together, we share some really great documentaries, often that Dr. Sailesh has been part of promoting
Mhm.
and producing. And
Mhm.
so great documentaries like Cowspiracy,
Mhm.
The
Oh, wow.
grandmothers help support Christspiracy.
Mhm.
There's a really good documentary that we help support called Milked, um,
Mhm.
by a Maori man in New Zealand, showing that all their water is contaminated because of the dairy farms. So,
Wow.
and
Yeah.
my goal going to India is I'm hoping that by the end of this year there will be 1 million vegan grandmothers. I'm sure that there's going to be 1 million of us. I'm gonna see how many people join us in India.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that is phenomenal. Thank you for doing such a great job. And I know that the children of the future, the leaders of the future who are our children now, will appreciate all the efforts that you are making. So, in order to join Million Vegan Grandmothers, our viewers just need to go to climatehealers.org/grandmothers, right? Yeah,
Thank you. Yes.
cool. And to get a hold of you for your books, they can go to TamiHay.com. Is that right?
My books are on Amazon. The ones that are in print right now is Earth God, The Story of Peace, Love, and
Ah,
Micro,
right. Okay.
and Sacred Sovereignty, The Infinity Eight Path to Heal. And that's my
Okay.
8-step protocol for
Mhm.
healing: hydration, homeostasis, energy,
Right.
electrons, anti-inflammatory alkalinity, and love and light. That's in the Infinity Eight for healing.
Awesome. That's great. Well, listen, we have Raj, do you have any final questions for this amazing woman? Her energy, we could bottle it and sell it, right? Her enthusiasm.
I
But
love meditation energy.
yes, yes, he's right with you. We both do extensive meditation. Oh, I was going to ask you, have they featured you on Supreme Master Television?
No, I know that somebody reached out at one point and it didn't go through. So I would love that. Yes, I know that they've
Oh,
asked
okay,
somebody at a close by farmers market, and she had
okay,
because they bought my book from a farmers market, and then they said they wanted to reach out, but they never did. And so she just said, I want to
uh-huh,
just pass on that message. So if you want
okay.
to connect me,
Yeah,
that'd be great.
I'll do that. Yeah, I mean, Supreme Master Ching Hai is a vegan herself, as you know, and a spiritually, a fully enlightened master, and her reach is around the world, and it would be good for you folks. So I'll connect you with someone who can maybe get you on there.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so
Thank
much. And
you.
thank you both of
Thank
you
you.
as Raj and
Thank you.
Betska. I really appreciate this time together and the work
Yes,
that you
Betska.
do.
Thank
You
you.
Yeah.
know, it takes a community. It takes
hmm
many communities to build
Yes,
this universal community. Yeah.
absolutely, it does. Yeah. So thank you for
Thank
being with us today, and we look forward to having you back to talk more about healing our body. I think that would be an amazing conversation
you. Yes.
um, for us to
Thank
have,
you.
and maybe bring a couple of other natural doctors on with you. That I think that would be awesome. So,
That's great. And in the spring of next year, my next book is going to be coming out, The Essence of Sacred Relationship.
yeah.
And the reason why this is so important is because we're moving into a new paradigm of the new human, and the
hmm
new human will know how to conduct all their relationships in a sacred manner.
Wow.
And so
Yeah.
that book was a complete download for me.
hmm
Um, that I came back after having bit of a struggle time with my partner, and Spirit said, this is the way to relate now. So I'm excited for that
That's
book to come out this spring.
no kidding, and the whole world needs that. So, well. Merry Christmas to you, my dear.
Thank
Lovely to
you.
have you here, and we'll be in touch shortly, and we'll let you know when the podcast is. Are you on LinkedIn?
Yes, I am.
Yeah,
I
okay.
don't use
So,
any of my social media very regularly, but I am going to get on it.
okay, sounds
Thank
great.
you.
Thank you. God bless
Namaste.
you. Namaste.
Namaste,
Bye-bye.
vegan, we say.